Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and today I have a brew challenge from Patreon subscriber Beerguard. Beerguard wanted me to adapt his pre-modern deck into Legacy. And what his pre-modern deck is, it's an Intruder alarm deck. Creatures don't untap during untap steps. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. Spicy little enchantment, EDH staple, back from Stronghold. It's had a few reprints since then. I remember owning one of these when I was a kid from some of the first packs I ever opened. And the goal here with Intruder Alarm is to get a Goblin Welder, a Triskelion, and any other artifact creature in the mix. Combo here is Weld Triskelion into play that untaps all creatures, including the Welder. You shoot your opponent for 3 off Triskelion. That's a 6-mana 1/1. Enters battlefield with 3+1 counters, and you can remove a +1 counter to deal 1 to any target. Comes with a lightning bolt on it. Then you Weld Triskelion into any other artifact creature, untapping all creatures with Intruder Alarm, and then you weld back into Triskelion, and around we go. Pre-Modern has some cards that Legacy doesn't, in Frantic Search and Tinker, 2 big pieces of this sort of strategy. So we had to make up the ground somewhere. We get Goblin Engineer and Goblin Welder. Of course, Goblin Welder is the combo. Goblin Engineer gets to entomb the Triskelion. Pretty excited about that. And from there, I just kind of tucked it into a Painter Shell. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, that's going to be our Frantic Search. It also is just a solid card on its own that generates value. Copying Triskelions with the Reflection of Kiki Jiki is a very real win condition if we have to go fair. Fable also triggers Intruder Alarm twice, once on arrival, making the Goblin Shaman, and then once in Chapter 3 when Reflection flips into play. Reflection could also be a spicy one with Intruder Alarm. You copy something, that puts a creature into play, and that untaps Fable of the Mirror Breaker, or Reflection of Kiki Jiki, and then you just make another copy. Lots of cool synergy here. Lightning Greaves is in the deck to threaten a win out of nowhere. If you have a Greaves in play, a Welder off the top could frequently win the game if you have a respectable graveyard of any size at all. Just suit up the Welder, give it haste, and off you go. You may be surprised by the inclusion of format-defining card Scrapwork Mutt. If you didn't draft a lot of Bro, you might think I'm kidding, but this card literally defined the Bro limited format. It just kind of does what this deck needs to do, which is put Triskelion in the graveyard and be an artifact creature on the way back around. And if you do get into a kind of fair Welder situation, grinding Scrapwork Mutt in and out of play is not that embarrassing. It gives you card selection. I know Phyrexian Dragon Engine is a card that exists. I didn't forget about it. I do know. But this deck was already kind of glutted on 3-drops, and I didn't want another one. Wanted something elsewhere on the curve that we could play around with. Then there are single copies of Memnite and Ornithopter. These are just artifact creatures that can get the Intruder Alarm going for free. They're not sexy, but here they are. In all of Magic's history, there are not a whole lot of cards that do exactly this, which is cost 0 and be an artifact creature. Big thing about this deck, it's not an Urza Saga deck. I had drafts of it that were Urza Saga decks, but then you have to include a Saga package, and then that starts to eat up deck space, and I really wanted Intruder Alarm to be the star of the show here. So, no Urza Saga. We are trying to intrude, we are trying to Triskelion, and that is the game plan. This is a very kind of classic Goblin Welder value deck. Our only real protection in the main deck is Tanglewire, which is a card that I love. It's a favorite here on this channel. It is basically 4 time walks, and if you have Goblin Welder, it can be more time walks than that, because you recycle it into different things on your turn. Like you flip it into Triskelion in their end step, you attack with Triskelion, then flip Triskelion back into Tanglewire for their turn. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that. And that's the deck. I don't know if this is going to hold up to the relentless onslaught that is the Legacy format, but I'm excited about it. Let's go do this thing. This is Beauregard's Intruder Alarm Welder. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. We're on the play for round number 1, and feels weird to say in an artifact deck, but Island Ponder Keep, let's go. I did experiment with trying to make this deck support Force of Will, which I imagine it could if you cut some of the more fun stuff, but I'm not here to cut fun stuff. I'm here to be crazy. So we are going to play it mostly like Painter. This is weirdly gas. Scrapwork Mutt can loot Triskelion next turn, and then I have Triskelion in the graveyard. I could also, or I guess I can't turn to this Reyes Apprentice because I led on Island instead of Bulk. So yeah, Scrapwork Mutt on top. And I'm going to draw Triskelion next turn and Mutt the Triskelion into an Ancient Tomb, and off we go. The things are in the places they're supposed to be. Once Upon a Time from the opponent. Revealing Taiga, interesting. I don't know what's going on with this Taiga Mishra's Bauble strategy. We're going to find out together. It's like Naya Delirium? What is going on here? Okay, I'm going to do the thing that I do. Scrapwork Mutt in Legacy. Discard Triskelion, draw Ancient Tomb, send it. Oh, it's... What? Your deck with Mishra's Bauble also has Eidolon and the Great Rebel? What is happening right now? I'm so confused. Those are not two cards I would expect to see side by side ever in my life. Genuinely fascinating. I guess I can attack, see how that goes. Just play Breya's Apprentice off of Volcanic Island. Take 2 for this, but I get a bunch of material and I get a creature that's bigger than Eidolon. I hope I end up losing this match somehow to a Grim Lavamancer that goes off with my Intruder alarm. We've got a Chain Lightning on my Breya's Apprentice. I don't have red to send it back available. That dealt damage to them. They're attacking me. The audacity. They're not currently winning this race. I hope there's a Mishra's Bauble in their hand so badly. I want to see them take 2 from a Mishra's Bauble. I almost wish Triskelion was in my hand at this point. And I play 4 of them. I could draw another one. Like, I'm approaching casting it. It doesn't trigger Eidolon, and it is the baddest cat on the block if it resolves. Not going to block. I like having material in play and more attack power than them on the board. Armorglyph. Okay. Suddenly no longer have more attack power than them. Just like Delirium Zoo. All the Zoo things make sense. It's the Mishra's Bauble that's causing trouble for me. I think I do have to clear the Eidolon and work my way towards something resembling stability. Oh, it would have been cool to brainstorm there. Alright, still learning how this deck actually works. Wire helpful here, not really. If I put a Mutt in the graveyard, that's something I can unearth next turn, and then flip into Breya's Apprentice. Like a combo. Do I attack with my flyer, or just leave back as many blockers as possible? And I'm going to attack. My deck does contain Triskelion and Lightning Bolt. Dealing damage to them is a reasonable thing to do. Block with my Mutt. Gotta imagine this Zoo deck has a removal spell, unfortunately. Yes, indeed. Can't send it back, but that's okay, because they could send it back again. Not interested. Uh-oh. I need some help here. I think I should Mutt first. I know I don't want this Ancient Tomb. And that gets me a card deeper for my Brainstorm. Another Brainstorm. Cast one of them, get some options here. They have enough permanents that they're overwhelming a Tangle Wire now, and it would cost me 2 life to cast it. That was a bad run of things for me. This Mutt has to attack, it gets exiled at the end of the turn. I guess I'll drop a City of Traders. What happens if I Tangle Wire here? They tap all their lands, attack me with Goyf. I tap Tangle Wire, Ancient Tomb, City of Traders. I escape a Scrapwork Mutt, Brainstorm, and then maybe die. I do kind of like blocking out their ability to add to the board if they want to attack. Okay, it's happening. We're in a tough spot regardless. Gonna bolt. They have to do an end step. Hope they don't have a removal spell here. That would probably kill me to the Goyf. Built. Okay, hard mode. Maybe impossible mode. We're dead in 2. I was really counting on that blocker to get me another turn. I'm at 6. I have to tangle some wires. Always fade first. Got Ancient Tomb, Tangle Wire, and drawing another City of Traders. Does that matter? I kind of want to loot away that City of Traders. And then there's another city under that. So I have access to 2 colorless if I want it. It's just a question of, do I think a burst of colorless or an extra blue is going to be more helpful this turn? I think the extra blue is going to be more important. So escape or unearth, whatever this is. Unearth Scrapwork Mutt. I'm going to loot city into city. And I got to brainstorm for something useful. And it's none of those things. Okay, GG. All right, Zoo. Just actual Naya Zoo. Kind of like Brazen Borrower and Hydroblast here. Magus of the Moon's really interesting because their deck is full of non-basics, but they also can cast red cards that kill Magus of the Moon. So probably not interested in that. I think they're going to be better under Tangle Wire than I am. Unfortunately, I think I got to focus on my combo and just get it through. Flusterstorm could fight over a clutch burn spell. I don't think that's the way, though. This is what I'm doing. Multiple engineers and a trike. I'll keep it. On Bloodstained Mire, just in case. Once Upon a Time. Foothills, and then Plate Plateau. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Now the other homie makes more sense. The Bauble. I'm fetching my upkeep. I don't actually want to draw lands. Goblin Engineer. I think this entombs. Oh, I can. Oh no, shit. This is Goblin Engineer. I was about to say I can entomb Scrapwork Mutt, unearth it, discard Triskelion, flip it into Triskelion, but you actually can't do that. So I won't. I can get Brea's Apprentice in the bin. Value engine for later. Stomp. Disappointing. Alright, I have 2 of these. They kept their card on top with Dragon's Rage Channeler. Fable, what's up? I am interested in doing that as soon as possible. Get this value train rolling. This can get Triskelion into the graveyard if that's where I want it. Or if my Goblin Shaman survives this turn cycle, I'll have 6 and I could just cast Triskelion. Wasteland. Okay, that's a card in your deck. Got it. Probably discarding Triskelion now. Wild Cattle. No attacks, get paid. They definitely don't need 2 Ancient Tombs. And I will send the Trike into the graveyard. That's where it's supposed to be. Redrew another one. Love to see it. I can Ancient Tomb, Brazen Borrow the Nicatl, and play Engineer. I'm gonna go to combat first. Oh, that doesn't even work. Shit. It's playing real bad right now. I would like the treasure, and then I can try to bounce Nicatl. I just wanted to make sure that I got the treasure, because if I bounce Nicatl pre-combat, they might make a different decision about lightning bolting the thing or not. Alright, just getting it always here. I'll take 2 for an engineer. I think this one is going to put Scrapwork Mutt in the graveyard. Yeah, Mutt gives me an artifact with which to flip into Brea's Apprentice. We both have creatures on adventures, that's fun. It's like Eldraine Standard all over again. Prismatic Ending on my Goblin Engineer. This is card type number 4. They surveilled a creature away. I got there. Do you know what I can do next turn? Cast Triskelion. I said Flable. Fable will flip. And I can attack with Goblin Shaman, which would give me a treasure. King Nicatl for 1. Then they still have Trike on 3/3, but they have a flyer. I'm gonna play City and I'm gonna play Trike. We're in there with a 4/4. Biggest creature on the board. If I attack I can ping off Nakatl. I don't think I care enough about that. I'd rather have a 4/4 and the ability to kill Dragon's Rage Channeler. If I can bait out some removal this turn, I might be able to copy a Welder. Ancient Grudge. I'm going to let them surveil first. Then I'm going to kill DRC. 1, 2, 3. That's dead. Drake dies. Chain Lightning. Okay. Okay, Lightning Greaves off the top is the nuts. Gotta take 3 here, unfortunately. Lightning Greaves, let's go, deck. That's not it. Okay, Scrapwork Mutt can loot me. I'm gonna do that. But could still draw Greaves this turn. Start Scalding Tarn. Down Ponder. Ponder. Engineer a Lightning Bolt. Well, Lightning Bolt it is. That delays my Welder for a turn, but stabilizes the board. Use my treasure to bolt your creature and pass the turn. They have the Bone Crusher they can cast at minimum here, and they have 3 cards in their hand. Lots of action from the opponent. And Zoo is a weirdly tough matchup. Bone Crusher's in. Goblin Engineer and Goblin Welder cast this turn. Try to overload here. If I want Greaves in the graveyard, I could just also Mutt here. Yeah, Mutt can come out and start the Welder chain, which Greaves cannot do, because they currently control 0 artifacts, and they have an Ancient Grudge in their graveyard. Don't really want to go to 4 here. I could double block, and then I just lose to any removal spell. Sucks to lose my Goblin, because that's also a source of an artifact. Please don't have 2 removal spells here. Okay, they cast Tarmogoyf, which taps them out of green for Ancient Grudge. Saying there's a chance. I unearth the dog. That gets the party going. If I want value, I have to discard Brainstorm. Target of a spell, so I can trike this out and then flip into Brea's Apprentice. But also just decline the Mutt. What I'm not going to try to do is Brainstorm into the land. I don't have room to make that play. And I'm going to start with Goblin Welder because that's the one that gets Triskelion into play. Alright, we're in there. 1, 2, 3. And flip Triskelion into Brea's Apprentice. That's 2 blockers. And 2 artifacts. Tarmogoyf is 6/7. So they can at minimum grudge one of these. If they have a second removal spell, they can attack for 6. So I think if they had removal spells, these Welders wouldn't have worked. I'm just going to block with my Thopter token. Ancient Grudge still does the thing here, though, and I'm going to need another artifact to get the chain going again. Just drew this land. They've played 5 turns now without playing a land drop. But they didn't fetch. Interesting. I'm going to start with Brainstorm. Lightning Bolt and another Brainstorm. Is Lightning Bolt good? Is fetching something I can afford to do? Any important questions here? Okay, I guess I have to fetch because I want Brainstorm to do something. I would really like to find another artifact, and no such luck. Okay, well, middle fingers to me, I guess. Goblin Welder. Goblin Welder does require both things to be in play. That's the one that can be disrupted by Ancient Grudge. Goblin Engineer is not disrupted by Ancient Grudge. But I also don't have anything to put into play for Goblin Engineer. Yeah, this is a tough spot. If they do this right, I'm in trouble. Okay, Brea's Apprentice, target Triskelion. If they Ancient Grudge here, I think I'm just dead. Yeah, not finding another artifact here was some shit. There is literally nothing in my graveyard that helps. So I'm going to sacrifice this artifact, exile the top card. This at least lets me storm 1 card deeper. And then I'm out of colored mana and can't activate my Engineer. Okay, yep. Alright, I'm dead. That Hydroblast was 1 card too low to protect my stuff. It just fell short on artifacts. That's too bad. Your deck had a lot of removal and a fast clock. I didn't even matter that I didn't have counterspells in my deck or like normal legacy interaction because they just killed me. GG, cool deck though.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the draw for round 2. I have a turn 1 Ponder, turn 2 Fable or Tanglewire. It's pretty good. Immediately looking at a turn 1 Delver. Great. Oh, cool. I'll do that. I'm going to pass into their upkeep, see if I can fish some info off this Delver. See how they stack their triggers. If they draw first, I'm going to bolt. That's just fewer counter spells they could have. If they had looked first, I would have waited to see it. If they get me with like a Spell Piercer, Fluster Storm here, that's not stock and whatever. Yeah, Daze was going to get me anyway. Volcanic Island is not Wasteland. Happiness in the chat. Okay, I think I'm just going to drop a bunch of Time Walks here. I like Fable better, so you tap all your permanents, I tap all my permanents. And then you tap... Alright, actually Fable's better here. I want to Fable first so I have more permanents than my opponent when it's go time on the Tanglewire. Because they're going to be untangled first if I just jam Tanglewire right now. And that Bolt fishing out the Daze made room for Fable. Delver still didn't flip. Let's go. Bauble that they didn't play last turn, so I expect this was their draw for the turn. They had the DRC here. They could have helped set up Delver. There's so many reasons that they would have bobbled last turn if they had it. Bobbling me. I imagine they were surprised by this Fable with the Mirror Breaker. It looked like a Delver mirror up to that point. You draw for turn. It's a card that they kept on top. I'm going to discard Ancient Tomb and Triskelion. But I like City of Traders a lot here. I'm going to go to combat, see if I get a treasure. Because I'm actually beating these creatures in combat. Tax free. Well, they're fetching in response. Oh, or Grixis. That's fun. Snuff out. Okay. Burn for your sins, opponent. Take 4. No treasure, but okay. Alright. Options here include Ponder, Fetch, Tanglewire. I think I like that spread. Ponder first. This gets got by Daze. But, as I've said, that's going to happen no matter what. I don't think I need a third Fable, and I do want Welder. I'm already exposed to Wasteland, just going to keep fetching into it. Tangle. Are we in there? 4 Time Walks. Oh, they had Force of Will too. Bummer. Pitched a Murktide to get it. And they kept their card on top. So I will expect Delver to flip this turn. Feeling Brainstorm. 2 cards left in their hand. They have 3 card types. They could get Delirious this turn with a creature, and their one is... Alright, suddenly extremely under the gun. Disappointing. Another DRC, so... Oh god, Wasteland 2. What a perfect Brainstorm. Okay. So they should waste Volcanic Island, because I don't care about Ancient Tomb, because if I tap it... Or I'm dead anyway, so yeah, Volcanic Island is still to get. Intruder Alarm. Oh no. That was so close to being useful. Alright, I just... Smeared by Delver. We actually had a really good game there, and then they ran a perfect free removal spell, free counterspell, Brainstorm into exactly get help and put you lethal inability to do anything. That's Delver. Welcome to it. I want all this cheap interaction in. And cards that are worse include... I don't think I need the full boat of Triskelions. I have the Entomb that can put them in the graveyard. I still like Mutt, weirdly enough. I still like Fable. I guess my disruption is going to be my spells now, not my Tanglewires. Still like Lightning Bolt. Need all the Welders. Maybe Fable's a little clunky. I want Bray's Apprentice. I want all the artifact creatures. Could see myself cutting a Memnite or Ornithopter. Knight is the worst bit between the two because Ornithopter can block unflipped Delvers. That's really light on artifacts, though. You'll notice there's no artifact lands in the mana base. I did have builds with them. I tried to mitigate Null Rod and Meltdown as much as I could, and I didn't want my mana base to be susceptible to that. I knew I didn't have enough artifacts to support Mox Opal. There's much heavier artifact versions of this. I just tried to be like, is it mid-range with an artifact-related combo kill? I might have gone too far in the wrong direction on that. It feels insane to cut Ponder or Brainstorm over M Knight, but I think I need to maintain this critical mass. Maybe it is a Fable. So good, though. All right, I'm cutting a Ponder. Don't tell anyone who watches my channel that I did that. We're going to mulligan this one. And we're going to keep this one. This can play on basics. I want Intruder Alarm later, not now. Fetching Basic Island is awkward because most of my spells are red. But that does get me a stable Ponder, and then I can protect Goblin Welder with Flusterstorm next turn. Let's do it. Fable, City, Pyroblast. I kind of like all of these. Yeah, I'm going to put the Fable in my hand with City on top. I can Welder with Fluster back up next turn, and then play Fable the turn after that. Ponder. That's not a Delver. I'll take it. Not Shuffle. Basic Mountain. Get in here. And Goblin Welder. If they don't interact with my Welder, I'll have Flusterstorm to protect Fable. I currently have no artifacts in play or my graveyard, so they don't need to be super worried about this shit. Welder, or Fable. We'll get them. Brainstorm in response. This builds enough Storm that Flusterstorm will make it happen. But if they had forced, Flusterstorm would have made it happen too. Another Brainstorm in response. They're digging desperately. And we're in there. Goblin Welder attack. That's what you're for, right? Bonds Goblin Raiders. Good news is, if they have a bunch of Meltdowns in their hand, I played around it. Channeler. Not currently Delirious. Brainstorm. Well, not Delirious. They're missing creature or artifact to get Delirium. More spells, don't worry. Looks like they're moving into my turn before they interact. That's smart. It makes me use my own mana. I am going to use Fable. I think I want to discard just the Scalding Tarn. Kind of a weak one, but there it is. Move into combat. Having Red Blast and Flusterstorm up against this deck feels pretty good. If they do randomly spike Delirium off of Surveil in combat, it's a pretty big blowout. Let's make our treasure, leaving back Welder. Lightning Bolt targeting Welder. Surveil 1, please don't get there. Didn't get there. I'm going to Fluster this, that's what this is for. Survive this turn cycle. Now a real decision of, do I play the Scrapwork Mutt because I have the mana and it's basically free to do here? But my hand is already great. I think I don't play the Mutt. Because if I draw any other artifact, Mutt immediately turns on Welder. Whereas if I play the Mutt, it's just a 2-mana 2/1 Goblin Piker. Arctide Regent. I can pay for soft permission here. I'm going to just zap it. And then I have Brazen Borrower to follow up if they fight over this. Oh shit. I guess they don't have a good attack here, because the creature in the graveyard gave them Delirium. Yeah, right. That was a fold of that combat I forgot about. Okay, so now I basically need to Ponder into Triskelion. Then we're cooking. That counts. Goblin Engineer on top of the deck. I'm going to attack first. If they have a bolt, I want this Goblin Shaman to look like it's bad. Oh, it's mostly not. Playing around Daze, Boss, lots of mana here, and don't even have to spend a treasure. If they Bolt Welder now, they're in good shape. Drop a Trike in the graveyard. Flip treasure into Triskelion. Bring in graveyard hate. Nope, okay. Dead. Just doing this now. No additional surveils, no additional value. It's happening anyway, might as well just do it. Okay, here we go. Engine's online. We just need to draw an Intruder Alarm. Snuffing out Goblin Welder. That's cool because Reflection of Kiki Jiki's also just free and lethal here. Murktide Regent. Okay, let's go Intruder Alarm off the top. This would be a great. Bolt, fine. Petty Theft, the Murktide with a mana floating. That mana will be used to copy Triskelion. Force of Negation, pitching Fairy Mastermind. Copy Triskelion. Your last card, Bolt. Lucky Delver. Kicking it old school. Scoop to the copy Triskelion. Nice. Okay. Red Blast, obviously very good in this matchup. I brought in 2 just out of trying to be responsible to the theme. I think I want the 3rd one. Now on the draw, I can cut my awkward 3-drop that requires multiple pieces. I know, it's the thing that the deck is for, but also it's still in there, and it's so bad on the draw against the Pyroblast Daze deck. A 1-lander with 2 Goblin Welders. I'm in. Let's go. I have the Nut Ornithopter that can block this Dragon's Rage Channeler. The Brainstorm is awkward because I don't want to fetch Volcanic Island with my 1-lander. Oh, this is a Polluted Delta. I'm gonna have to. Okay, so I could just die to Wasteland, or I could save this and cast Brainstorm next turn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold back the Brainstorm and just give myself the best chance at having more mana this game. Got my powerful blocker in play. If they can get Delirium at instant speed right now, they deserve this. Fuck. Cool, we're going to my turn. And I just draw a land. Nope, absolutely not. Basic Island Brainstorm, please don't Pyroblast this. Don't get aggressive, just let me have it. Problem here is they are incentivized to Pyroblast because they have DRC, even if they don't think this is their normal fight. This is still pretty good. They're thinking hard about it. Ugh. Oh, that sucks. Maybe I'm supposed to spend a turn Hydroblasting. Not gonna lie, I probably would have mulliganed this if I realized I couldn't fetch a basic mountain. That was loosey-goosey. Opponent's over there feeling like $1 million. That's how you feel when you take a high-risk line on fighting over the first cantrip of the game, then the opponent misses their land drop. Snuff out. Okay, this does not make Delirium on its own, but they do get to start attacking. Here you go. They milled over a second Snuff out knowing I'm a Goblin Welder deck. Ponder, save me. Don't you do it. Stop it. Stop it now. You have Spell Pierce in your deck? Okay, they're still not delirious. Bunch of lands. Second DRC. Any spell at this point should get them delirious. They just get to look at their whole deck. Lightning Bolt. Build a Bolt. Not delirious. Kept a card. Not delirious. Alright, deck. We've been joking around long enough. Can I have a land now? Nope. I'm going to kill one of these DRCs. They're going to flip. Oh, this one flips immediately, but I don't want them to get more value than they already have. Let's land on top. Oh my god, deck. I'm coming for you in the night. I hate you so much. This Lightning Bolt does stabilize. They're following up with, like, anything here. Here they have a Murktide now. I'm dead. Delver, not great. Oh my god. I'll discard a Mutt. Flip Delver, revealing Lightning Bolt? Or just Lightning Bolt me? They already had it. Alright, fine. Okay, I mean, that sucked ass. They did counter my 2 cantrips, so there were strategic decisions involved in this mana screw. Also drew 7 cards that game, and none of them were lands. So, that's magic. Welcome to Delver. On to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw for round 3, I'm going to keep this, but I'm getting chaliced. Great. Cool. I don't think my deck can beat a Chalice of the Void. It's literally ice cold. Okay, I'll deploy my Lightning Greaves, let them know that if I could cast any of my 1-drops, they'd be in so much trouble. Saw Monitor. Cool. Saw Scalding Tarn from my hand. Knight. I could play that and put Lightning Greaves on it. What am I even trying to do here? I can't play Welder. I have no way to remove this card in my main deck. This Chalice is so disappointing. This is the best hand I've had in the entire league so far. Greaves, Welder, it's all here. Intruder Alarm, accelerate it. I have to, like, find the Mirror Breaker. Whatever, here's Intruder Alarm. Maybe it'll work as a fog. They have to keep casting creatures to untap their creatures. Their creature that has untap value is Emery. They try to combo off. Blade Sai pre-combat. Cast, okay. Sai is pretty messed up. Intruder Alarm, though. So now any artifact untaps all their creatures. They don't even need a creature. I'm like 0% to ever fog a single creature with this. Ox Opal makes another Opter. Emery, okay. They have the one card that combos off with Intruder Alarm. And any artifact, so they have infinite Thopters next turn thanks to my Intruder Alarm. I'm going to concede 100% here. I cannot rebuy Triskelion. This. It would also lose haste after. Oh no, I have Memnite. Okay. What can I do here? Is there anything? I could entomb. I mean, Bray's Apprentice. Does that go infinite? I don't even know. Okay. Here's a Goblin Engineer. I'm going to put Bray's Apprentice in my graveyard. We'll see what happens here. Put that. And land. Fetch. Volcanic Island. Memnite. And then in response to the untap trigger, flip Memnite into Bray's Apprentice. Taps all the creatures. I can move these onto Apprentice. Sacrifice Thopter. No, I probably want to sacrifice Apprentice herself. No, it's Thopter. And then concede because they have infinite creatures next turn. Cool. Well, Chalice of the Void. Tough for our deck, it turns out. Fiery Confluence coming in. Poison Borrower coming in. Pyroblast has some utility in this matchup. This opponent will have more permanence than me. Sorry, Tanglewire. No, I love you. I think I'm going to have to combo them out. So Maximum Trikes, Maximum Fables. Brainstorm might be unreliable against the Chalice deck. Okay. Basically representing my main deck with 4 answers to Chalice instead of 0 answers to Chalice. Okay, I get to go first here, and I am going to keep... I get to put a Goblin Welder on the stack before Chalice can show up. And this hand actually has 2 drops in it. So already better than the last one. Also, Goblin Welder can be Chalice removal if you get it down first. If they ever get a second artifact in their graveyard, you can flip it with Chalice. If Emery mills a Chalice, you can flip something in play into a Chalice on 0, and that actually messes up their deck pretty bad. Play Draw Magic. We're in there. Petal, that's an artifact. But yeah, so they have Petal in their graveyard. I can spend 2 turns here flipping Chalice into Petal, then flipping Petal back into Chalice. Or I could just draw Triskelion and go off. Let's see. No such luck there. I think I want to play a second Welder here. Or, nope, hold up. Hold your horses, man. Need to flip Chalice first. I'll flip it into Lotus Petal. I think giving them a mana is better than giving them a card. And I get to hold up Bolt for something like Emery this turn, and then having double Welder ready to shred. Let's go insane next turn. Spellbomb. Okay, glad I have 2 of these. That's dead. Okay, I'm gonna Bolt Emery. They can pick her up with Spellbomb, but alright, cool. Go to my turn with double Welder. Goblin Engineer. Go get him. Oh wait, I needed a mutt. What am I even doing? I have no artifacts. Yeah, the artifact count in this deck is an issue. Triskelion into the graveyard. Goblin Welder turns Seed of the Synod into Chalice on 0, please, against this deck full of zeros. And I guess I'm just passing the turn. Alright, geared up for next turn. Yeah, I forgot that Goblin Engineer doesn't come with Scrapboard, but automatically attached to it. Cast. Synod, another Emery. Emery's going to die to Triskelion if they don't have Graveyard Hate. Nothing good to do with this Welder. Like, I can untap one of their lands. I can turn Aether Spellbomb into a blue source. Yeah, I don't care about any of that. And I have enough lands. Oh my god. I have enough lands that if they counter Scrapwork Mutt, I can unearth it. I'm going to discard the land. It resolved. I don't need to do that now. But flip into Trike. And if they try to do anything, I can flip it. Yeah, we did it. Okay, on the board. Game 3. Do I want my Pyroblast in? Pyroblast is good if they don't have Chalice, and the worst if they do have Chalice. Got bolts. And Pyroblast can win counter wars too. After seeing my opponent's ability to make infinite 1/1s game 1, maybe I shave an Intruder Alarm. And Ponder. And I'm shaving one card that's bad against Chalice for another that's bad against Chalice. Maybe I'll just go 2 blasts. It's slightly better in that regard. On the draw, with a hand that can play through Chalice, kind of, I'm in. Island. Opal. Bauble. Petal. Chalice if they have it. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? They play 4. It's guaranteed to be in every opening hand. That's just math. Volcanic Island, go. My plan. Okay, looked like they kept one without much of a follow-up based on the strength of Chalice. They could have a deck full of a handful of interaction here. I'm going to lead on Greaves. That makes Goblin Engineer next turn immediately a potential problem. This Saga, yuck. Speaking of potential problems, I was going to have to combo kill them first. Here's the 4th land for Confluence. Here for it. I'll fetch the basic mountain just to make sure my fetch lands can all get a card at some point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can hardcast Force of Will here. Got it. That's a Force of Will that's not in their hand for this Fiery Confluence. Memory, gross. Okay, please don't force me again about that. Fiery Confluence. Oh, they don't have Metalcraft, so they can't make a Saga here. I'm going to cast this to destroy Chalice and deal 1 to each creature twice. This is the big moment. Please don't counter this. Okay, we did it. They can make 1 construct on their main phase if that's the best way they have to spend their mana. You get a construct, you get a tutor. This turns on Mox Opal. I presume Soul Guide Lantern's coming out here to control my Welder nonsense. Digger's Cage, that's even worse. Mox Opal, floating. This could be Thoughtcast. Yep. Alright, so I want to draw a Soul Land for Trike. There is Apprentice. What's up? Okay, I can Apprentice, immediately sack the thing to get another spell this turn. Digger's Cage is pretty annoying. Do I have any non-creature artifacts I'd want to bring back? No, they are basically all creatures. Creature cards and graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Yep. That is text on that card. I'm going to start with a Brainstorm. Immediately found an answer to Cage. Okay. What do I do with this information? I put Triskelion back in my deck, and I think I need this Red Blast. I want this Brazen Apprentice, but also... Oh wait, I have Goblin Welder. I don't even need Brazen Borrower. I can weld the Grafdigger's Cage. Do they have a Chalice dead? They do. Okay. I'm going to put back a Brazen Borrower and the Trike. I'm going to Goblin Welder. Grieve it up. Turn your Grafdigger's Cage into a Chalice on 0. Goblin Engineer, and put Triskelion in the graveyard. Okay, we're in there. I'm not going to move Greaves onto Engineer because Welder's more important in case they do have Dismember or something. Thought Monitor, okay. I can take 4, not a big deal. This is the last damage I intend to take this game. Yep, played around the Dismember. Protected the correct creature. And now Apprentice is backed up by Pyroblast, so she's going to resolve. Going to flip Opter token into Triskelion. And I'm going to take out Thought Monitor immediately. Guess I should have attacked for 4 first. That was loose. I'll attack for something. Attack for 2. Move Greaves back to Welder, where it's safe. And I'll pass the turn. I can block Ping. And Triskelion's in the graveyard for Mutt to pick it up next turn. I'm going to counter this. I feel like they're running out of gas, and I just don't want them to find more. No attack. Good call. Draw for turn. I'm going to go for this Storm. That could get another Trike in the graveyard, then we're just going nuts. My top card, I can sack Triskelion to Braze Apprentice and get an extra card here. Do I want Fable? If so, when? I'm going to put back Ponder and Volcanic Island. I'm going to deal 1 to my opponent. Sack Braze Apprentice to play the top card of my deck. This is Volcanic Island. And Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Token Haste. This does open me up to getting dismembered. Or do they have it? Shit, they do. But, okay. So, flip Braze Apprentice into Triskelion on the way through. Attack you. And before blocks, I'm going to bounce this thing with Brazen Borrower. I can see the exit, and I'm just going to run for it. Opponent's at 5. They're dead on board if they tap their Ancient Tomb. They're dead on board if they do nothing. Yeah! We did it. Defeated the other artifact deck. Turn 1 Chalice 3 times. Not good enough. Let's go.
The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe.
On the play in round 4 with a very exciting Intruder Alarm hand I'm going to keep. I'm a Triskelion away from a turn 3 Goldfish here. Getting Volcanic Island. Hope they're not a Wasteland deck, but even if they are, if they waste me, they're not answering Welder this turn. Tide Shaper. Oh, off Tropical Island. We are Simic Merfolk. Wild. Absolutely wild. Right, Fable, get in. Force of Will, pitching Ponder. Okay. Strong play. Uh-oh. Let's go after the city. Oh, they went after the island, which means Tide Shaper is small now. And Brainstorm post-land drop, as you do. I'm not going to trade with this thing, but they didn't attack with it. Scrapwork Mutt. In. I am going to discard a card, because I need some action here. I think it's the other Welder. Not a great situation. The next colored source gets me Fable. Okay, landing me there is fine. Already wasn't doing anything with that. Checkmate. Cool. Another one. Now I'm pushing damage. I think I'm just not going to play out a city. No, I am, because then any land off the top gives me action immediately. There are artifacts in my deck that I can cast off of this. Wow, Ursa Saga in your Tide Shaper deck. Root Wayfinder. Okay. It's all coming together. On deck. So I did say I'm on turn 1. I'm fetching Volcanic Island. Hope they're not a Wasteland deck. But here we are. I have to block this thing or else they're going to Wasteland me every turn for the rest of the game. Their deck is awesome. Now that I see it coming together, I would like to function at least a little bit here, maybe. Okay. Get to do something. Maybe. Are you also a Stifle deck? This is risky. The land comes in tapped, right? Yeah. When Deeproot Wayfinder hits you, you surveil 1 and then put a land into play tap from your graveyard. So they can't Wasteland me off of Deeproot. I can take 1 hit and then see what next turn brings. If they tutor Paling Needle and name Goblin Welder, I'm going to freak out. I hope they go for Shadow Spear just to get trample on their creature that I'm not going to block anyway. Their Spell Bomb is effective. Still wasn't going to block. Don't have a Wasteland from hand. Alright, what I need to do here is draw Triskelion for turn, loot it away off Fable, and find a Memnite or Ornithopter. That actually does. We could go off this turn. Blocking nothing. They can return either Fable or Wasteland to play. Or Saga or Wasteland. Burrow's in this deck too. I love it. Okay, deck. Triskelion off the top. That's not a Triskelion. I would like to use Fable's ability. I think that second Fable's actually really good here. I'm going to discard. I think the only way I can win is Intruder Alarm, but how am I going to get it into play? The answer is Fable. So that leaves Ponder and Bulk as my discards this turn. Alright, cool. Ancient Tomb. Some real action on another Fable here. Don't cast spells, come on. Let it resolve. What's the big deal? It's fine. Stop it. Now that I have a second artifact creature, I can mutt through my whole deck till I find a Triskelion. If I have mana to cast Intruder Alarm next turn and it resolves. This is a big turn right now. Okay, we're in there with the Fable. Just having even one treasure next turn gives me a shot at going off. I need Goblin Welder to still be in play next turn. And either Goblin Shaman or Volcanic Island as a source of colored mana. I'm tingling with excitement here. We are so close to just stealing this game out of nowhere. They did waste the Volk. Please be something bad I don't care about. Medallion Hexcatcher. Oh no, that can counter my Intruder Alarm. Okay, we'll see how much they respect that. Oh wait, I'm going to have 5 mana that would delete their whole board. Counter Intruder Alarm. Wasteland's back. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. I drew Greaves. Discard 2 cards. Yes, I don't need Greaves. That's not part of my plan. Memnite's exciting. Okay. Attack with Goblin Shaman. So close to the fireworks right now. Second main. City of Traders. Intruder Alarm. Do not force of will me. Don't you do it. We're in there. Okay. Scrapwork Mutt. On the stack. With Memnite in the chamber. This could be the whole game. I would like to discard Memnite. I'm going to turn Mutt into Mutt. And I'm going to draw until I have Triskelion. And then I win. I'm just going to loot until I find a Trike. And then we're out of here. Oh, this is so satisfying. Scrapwork Mutt. Breaking another format. They asked in the chat, how do you kill me? Triskelion. We had a little chat off screen about how this combo works. And they took my word for it. We did it. We executed an Intruder Alarm win from a board state that looked horrendous for the entire game. Pyroblast coming in. Confluence seems like fine, but also not that important. Borrower, I like. And Tanglewire's just been getting the bad news this whole time. Yeah, I think that Tanglewire is 3 slots that could just be cards that are more helpful towards executing our plan. So they are artifacts, and I've been talking a lot, especially in post-board games, about how I haven't been able to weld. And I have been boarding out 3 artifacts for some number of non-artifacts, basically every round. All that said, I still think these interactive removal spells are better. It's possible they're going to bring in Graveyard Hate, so I'm going to shave an Intruder Alarm. And Fable's pretty slow here, but I am trying to slow the game down, so that's fine. How would I get Fiery Confluence in here? I mean, they're a Merfolk deck that also has Urza Saga. This lines up well against all the modes. Yeah, a Trike, a Fable, and a Brainstorm. Sure. Let's try it. Magus the Moon might have text against them too. If there's a game 3, I'll reconsider Magus. A 1-lander, what could go wrong? It's a 1-lander that can fetch a basic and it has Ponder. I am going to keep. Digger's Cage, yep. Huh. Good thing I brought in my Artifact Hate and also shaved on my Graveyard Engine. Alright, Ponder. Just like show me 3 lands. That's all I want from you. 3 lands. 0 lands. We'll be shuffling this Ponder. And I drew a 3-drop spell. Maybe I'm supposed to play Memnite here and just start poking for damage. Root Wavebinder. Uh-oh. Okay, deck, for real. I'm not playing around here. Please. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you look at 6 cards in your 20-land deck and none of them are lands. I'll start dumping out awful blockers here, I guess, because I can't let Deep Root go off. I think we're losing this one. But I thought we were losing the last one, too. I think Misty Rainforest is fine, and I'll start blocking next turn when their Urza Saga is involved. Surveilled Master of the Pearl Trident away. God. We're in there. Ancient Tomb is around now. I don't have red. I do have access to Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I think Brazen Borrower is probably thing here. Gotta start soaking up damage. They have a Needle, probably gonna name Goblin Welder, I guess. Or Triskelion, depending on what part of the combo they want to clip. Goblin Welder. There's Spell Bomb. Okay. I'm gonna bounce the 5/5 and block the 2/3. I don't want them recurring a Saga for free. Of course it will. Pitching Shreename Nemesis. We're learning so much about their deck. Okay, taking 5 here is a bad deal. I guess I'm just going to block everything this turn because they have this Aether Spell Bomb in play that can clear a blocker next turn. I'm probably just going to take a draw step and concede. Yep, okay. Game 3. Aegis of the Moon is pretty tempting. It shuts down Urza's Saga completely, and I worry less about Wasteland in that world. I have a bunch of hate for my combo interaction. I shave another Intruder Alarm, and at this point, the zeros don't make a lot of sense if I don't have Intruder Alarm. Ornithopter still exists. I could cut Ornithopter and just become like Izzet mid-range with Fiery Confluence and some Goblin Engineer, Goblin Welder synergies. I don't know if that deck lines up well against what my opponent's doing, but it is what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to be able to shove my combo down the throat of this person with multiple hate pieces, Wasteland, and Force of Will in their deck. Well, we've seen this before. I'm going to keep. I'm not going to let the bad run of last game poison my brain on Island Ponder Keep hands. I have a brand to maintain here. Ancient Tomb, okay. Not going to shuffle. Ancient Tomb can at least do some looting if it doesn't cast Fable. Yep, that's a Wasteland. All right, Scrapwork Mutt will get me through my pile here. I'm going to discard, I think it's a Lightning Bolt. In not discarding the 3-drop when I know I have a second copy is a reasonable argument, but this is the type of thing that converts me into the mid-game in a way I'm interested in. Okay, I just need a red source off the top, and we're cooking. I would even take a blue source because of Gas Ponder, just not a colorless land, please. Shit. Okay, they know Wasteland's going to put me to 0 permanents now. They could also Tide Shaper, which turns my Ancient Tomb into an island, which I'm actually into, because then I can cast Ponder. Don't want them to have the Deep Root Warrior and start recurring Wasteland. Of course they did. I'm going to stop saying cards, because they just have them every time I say them. Come on, red source. Piece of shit. Okay, no attacks. I'm ready to block. Stallion Hexcatcher, okay. That doesn't change the fact that I'm snapping off a block here. That does counter Fable if they want to counter Fable. It also takes their Wayfinder out of bolt range. Oh my god! Okay, they're going to get back Wasteland this turn. They can counter Fable. This game is over. Yeah, that sucked every ass. Like, 20-land deck with 2 Ponders in my opener. I couldn't fetch Basic Island with Bloodstained Mire. 5 of the 6 fetches in my deck get Basic Island. 1 doesn't, and we happen to have that one. They happen to have Wasteland. The Ponder happened to not find another thing. And then our multiple draw steps after that were unhelpful. Maybe the City of Traders is too much. That's too many colored sources. Those could be like, Izzet Bridges, or I think I'd want Bridges in this deck rather than Seat of the Synod and Great Furnace. Because we're more about stability than velocity. I also think Tangle Wire should be something else after having played a few matches with this deck. Okay, on to the final round. Let's go.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
I have a hand that can turn 2 Tangle Wire in the final round. I'm going to keep. This is the first like Insano Dark Ritual draw with Scrapwork Mutt. Let's hope I get to keep my Goblin Welder for a turn cycle. Just cast Ponder and pass the turn, please. Go to Delta. Program C. Cast Ponder, cast Ponder, cast Ponder. Oh, careful study. That might be so much worse. Are you Dredge or are we Reanimator? If they are Dredge, Goblin Welder can kill a creature at will. If I float my Scrapwork Mutt in play. Oh, nope, it's Reanimator. Ping me? Okay. Alright, go nuts. Hope they don't see the line of taking Scrapwork Mutt. Take Ponder, take Ponder. I could legitimately Tangle Wire lock a Grizzlebrand out of this game. Need some cooperation from my opponent here. They took the Tangle Wire straight up. That actually is great for me. Oh my god, it just keeps getting better. So if they counter Scrapwork Mutt, then they're going to be rewarded for this. If that's phase 2 of the plan. If Mutt resolves, I'm cooking. You know how this works. As well attack with Welder here. They reanimate, they go to 10. If they draw, they go to 3. They know I have a bolt to ponder into any artifact that I can put into play. Just reanimate, you're at 10. Now I have bolt, so slow your roll. On any artifact I can put into play. Oh, I can just unearth the Mutt. Yeah, duh. Okay, cool. There was an artifact there all along. Okay. Unearth the Mutt. This was always going to work. Never should have been worried. Discard Triskelion. Lightning Greaves, that's fun. I'll cast that as I can. Make sure my Welder stays happy and healthy. Then flip Mutt into Tangle Wire. I should be able to kill them over the next couple turns. Depends on how busted they go there. If they go for a fresh 7, they could just go broken over the top of Tangle Wire. But if that doesn't work, they know they're getting bolted and Trike's in the graveyard. So they have to navigate 2 different bolt effects with this Grizzlebrand that can't do anything. And Unearth is dope. That's a good mechanic. Island and a careful study. As long as they don't put an extra permanent into play here, like if they have a Lotus Petal or something, they're actually doing alright. Archon of Cruelty. That one's kind of annoying. Okay, fade first. Then tap Tangle Wire, Lightning Greaves, Wire, Lightning Greaves, and I think I want to tap the city. This colored mana just looks good to me. Ponder. Finds a second Lightning Bolt. Okay, we have a path to victory here. This is the turn that matters the most. I get to tap the 3 permanents they have. They can't reanimate an Archon because I have Lightning Bolt. If they have land reanimate counterspell, nope, that doesn't help them either. If they cast reanimate in any way, Triskelion's going to win the game. Okay, Lightning Bolt you. You knew I had this. Then you die. Cool. Alright, I disparaged Tangle Wire quite a bit in this league, and I do still think it's going to get cut, but it definitely earned its keep there. Fairy Macabre's coming in, Flusterstorm's coming in. And they are the blue build of this, which might mean they have a show and tell pivot. Lightning Bolt, pretty good that game, but not really where I want to be in my life. Tangle Wire, you earned your keep. You get to stay. I'm going to shave Intruder Alarm and Memnite. Ornithopter can block Grizzlebrand. Also the Chops here. Table's kind of slow in this fast matchup. Reeves lets me go nuts quickly. Do I need to go nuts quickly? Or do I just need to not be dead and then slowly assemble my Legion? I'm going to slowly assemble my Legion. I think Ornithopter is actually just... Oh, nope, I was at 60. We're good. We're good. Thought I had to cut one more, but I don't. But Brazen Borrower can interact with a resolved monster. Alright, fine. Brazen Borrower is much better than Ornithopter. Is it mid-range? It is. Or is it? Ha 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 ha. Don't laugh at that. Unsubscribe. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this is the last game of the league. My hand has Fairy Macabre in it. I'm keeping. If they believe me to be some red artifact deck, they might just go fast here. Macabre beats counterspells. Shit. Well, if they pivot onto that, I have some trouble. Did, in fact, board out all my bolts. That sucks. Got me like a chump. And this also just stops me from functioning in ways that I want to function. I'm going to have to hardcast Triskelion to kill this thing. Not going to intercept this Brainstorm. I think I'd rather get full potential Brainstorm value out of it than like a Soul Land and cast Anglewire. Storm in response to my Brainstorm. You got me. Soul Land was there. Not that it matters now. I'm going to get rid of Goblin Engineer and Goblin Welder, both of which are not helpful to me when there's a Frothy Voidwalker in play, and I'm going to cast Ponder. And probably Shuffle. Any order Shuffle. Build your own Shuffle. Draw a card that was in the Ponder anyway, Motive Bug. They have a Ponder and a Brainstorm in the Void now if they want to dig. I kind of hope they do. If they get rid of their 3-power creature that is going to kill me in 7 hits, then I can do other stuff. Dark Ritual. Off we go. Pivot all the way onto Helm. God. Plays into him a Grizzlebrand here. Show and Tell. It resolves. I think I'm putting in Breya's Apprentice. This is a Traxa. Okay. Trax is pretty strong. There's Red Blast in my hand for that Show and Tell. Not going to matter. I can kill a Traxa as well. Get this fresh boat of cards here. These are the 4 cards they kept. They just cast an Entomb. Played Flooded Strand. They have a 5th permanent now that can outmuscle Tanglewire. I think Tanglewire is still my best chance to play this game, though. If I cast this, if they Force of Will it, I can kill Traxa. I can't imagine they'd care about this, though. Oh, yeah, they do. Force Pitching, Careful Study. Deal. Last Atraxa. I know they have Anime Dead in their hand. Suddenly, we're playing the game. I'm behind on life points and all important measures, but they just resolve an Atraxa and I'm feeling okay. Fairy Macabre beats any counterspells they might have. Exile Atraxa and Archon of Cruel. I'm out. Okay, here we are. The Void is pretty stacked. They could Tanglewire me, but then they have to stop attacking. So I think pretty safe. Intruder Alarm, is this good? I don't think so. I'm gonna Brainstorm, try to get rid of this Intruder Alarm. Triskelion, okay. That is my out to this game. Put back Intruder, oh wait. I want Intruder Alarm and Goblin Welder in my hand so I can loot them away with Fable. Trike and Ponder on top. Attack with my creatures and cast Fable. Just need my opponent to brick like the next million turns. Or just one more turn, really. Fable, plays Zone of Days. Fable's in. This is 6 mana for next turn. Can cast the Trike. Alright, no counterspell in your hand, please. That's what I want of you right now. We're still so close to stability. We'll discard 2 cards, yes. Discard Intruder Alarm and Engineer. Attack with my creatures. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just can't count. Oh no, I don't actually have it. Why did I think this was 6? Why did I think this would work? Oh, cursed existence. Okay, I guess we're dead instead of alive. Strictly worse. Ancient Tomb will be lethal on me next turn. Still have a Greaves in the deck. I guess I need to find some way to get more damage on the board right now. Flusterstorm's not it. The fetch land does help. 1 is the same as... Oh wait, no. I'm literally dead if I fetch. So I have to Ponder. and get rid of these lands that hurt me. Ponder. Island, too late. Shuffle. Okay, opponent is at 7. I'm at 1 on board. I can Flusterstorm. And I miscounted that. I couldn't have done anything different, but I did miscount that. I'll Spellbomb. Cool. It's a combo with Thoughtly Voidwalker for sure. Drawn a card. I hope they do something foolish, like cast a spell out of this Voidwalker instead of just attack. Like go for a Ponder or something that's gonna dig up a reanimation thing that then I Flusterstorm and then I win a game that I should not be winning. They appear to just be going to combat though. Fine. 1. Lightning Greaves. It's not in my deck, right? This is 5 if I attack with these things. Still 1 mana short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, still 1 mana short of Trike. Guess I have to Ponder and try to do something. Or Brainstorm, whatever this spell is. Put Ancient Tombs and alright, we're done. And they're at 2. Exactly, couldn't get it done. Guess I'll give them the chance to do something other than just attack me. Down the line. Yeah, they had exactly enough permanence that Tangle Wire doesn't lock them down. Okay, I guess I need my Lightning Bolts. I did have a Brazen Borrower in, that was an out. Probably want the other one. With Dedicated Hate, do I even need Tangle Wire anymore? Yeah, now I just stop Grizzlebrand from coming into play rather than awkwardly try to tap it and tempo through it. It's probably better. Lightning Bolt. And replace a Goblin Engineer. If they have Nile Spellbomb and Thoughtly Voidwalkers in their deck, I can back off the graveyard stuff a little bit. I'm going to cut an Intruder Alarm for a Fable last second here. Graveyard Hate also shuts off Intruder Alarm combo, and we were just 2 points away from stability that game. Snapkeep this one. I'm going to Volcanic Island pass, just hold up Reb and Fluster, and then we can start pondering next turn. Petal. Pluto Delta. We're walking in the void again, turn 1. Boom. Just going to Fluster this from the top rope. That's right. I got counter spells in my deck. Actual ones. Cool. Survived that situation. And I think I'm just going to shove a Fable here. I could have pondered for a turn, held up Red Blast, then fought over Fable with Red Blast on the following turn. Just going to hope that Entomb was their big move. But they're also a Show and Tell deck. Shit. If they Show and Tell right now, I deserve to lose. There's so much to keep track of. Okay, it's just Thoughtly Voidwalker. Deal. Deal, 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 deal. Now have more answers to that than I did before. Rhea's Apprentice. Would like to discard some number of cards here. Probably just the lands. Now, lands are the most replaceable thing in my deck, and Goblin is generating mana anyway. That's Rhea's Apprentice. They didn't tap out a Pyroblast this time. Put some lands in the void for them. I'm not going to play Ancient Tomb to downgrade my City of Traders. Better equipped for a Show and Tell now. Not that I'm excited about it. Just attacking for 3 unblockable. This race is much more desirable for me this game than it was last. Fable gets to flip here. Intruder Alarm, what's up? I don't think that's a card I actually want. At least not till I answer the Voidwalker. Just going to attack first. First order of business. Get my damage. Second order of business will be cast Ponder. This does put a Ponder in the void, which might be bad for me. I'm pretty interested in this Very Macabre, though. And they're nearly dead. I'm just going to have to hold on for dear life in the meantime. I can Pyroblast a Show and Tell and beat Soft Permission. I have the Macabre for Graveyard Shenanigans. Still just attacking for things. They do some sweeper like Toxic Deluge, then their Voidwalker's gone and my graveyard's back online. I'm pretty cool with. Collection, copy, Rhea's Apprentice. This puts the most stuff on the board. Attacks for the most damage. Oh, I blew it. What the shit, man? If I had played Intruder Alarm, It might not be too late. Okay. I'm going to play Ancient Tomb, Intruder Alarm, Red Blast, or Goblin Welder. Okay, here's Intruder Alarm. That sucked. I missed an opportunity to do something super cool, but I'm still going to go for it. Should have happened first, though. If they counter this, I'm just going to let it happen and then go into combat. But if Intruder Alarm resolves, they also get to use the Void cards. What's in there? Just Ponder. That's not important. Goblin Welder on the stack. Intruder Alarm trigger. Now I get to copy Ray's Apprentice again, which will untap all my creatures twice. Does that matter? I could... Oh yeah, I can sacrifice this Thopter, give a creature +0, 2/0 until end of turn. I'm gonna pump my Goblin Gem and sacking this Thopter that can't attack. I just stack these backwards too. Man, this card is confusing. Yeah, untap all my stuff. Lethal yet? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, this is lethal. And if they somehow do something in combat, you have one more reflection activation, or I could just attack with a reflection. Hold up Red Blast. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, let's go. I'm just getting in. Echoing Truth. Counter target blue spell. This will stabilize if it works. We did it! Okay, cool. 2-3 record, which honestly, I'm not upset with, given that this is a complete meme and it wasn't built perfectly. We did get to do the full Intruder Alarm Scrapwork Mutt thing, and we even did a air quotes fair Intruder Alarm with Reflection of Kiki Jiki to win that last game. Let's take another look at this deck though. So Silver Bluff Bridge. I think some number of City of Traders should just be bridges instead. This puts more artifacts in the deck. They need to be tapped, but we're not really going that fast anyway. And it will affect you some amount of the time, but at least we just turned 3 colorless sources into 3 colored sources that don't get wastelanded. I'm happy with that. Angle Wire was cool when it was cool, but it wasn't actually that great throughout the league. I actually think Scrapwork Mutt should be a 4 of. That thing, as a role player, it just like Goblin Welder into Mutt, discard a real artifact is such a beating. I didn't play Phyrexian Dragon Engine because of my concern about the glut of 3-drops, and I do still have that concern, but I'm more concerned about just having good cards in my deck, which is also an issue. I do like Lightning Greaves, I like it as a 2 of. I do like 4 Trikes that maximizes your Scrapwork Mutts. I kind of want Memnite and Ornithopter to be real cards. Just going to do a Scryfall search real quick for artifact creatures that say draw a card on them. Prefer lower cost. Combat Courier, draw a card. No. I think Combustible Gearhulk is exciting, but Triskelion's already our top end thing. Ideally, we'd find something that you are not embarrassed to cast, and then you're also pretty excited to discard with Scrapwork Trawler, or Scrapwork Mutt. And Ruin Grinder is cool, but that's another 6-drop. Ooh, this one's not on Magic Online, but could be cool. Sicarian Infiltrator, 2 and a blue, flash, 1/2 with Squad, which means it's basically like multi-kicker. You get as many of these as you pay an extra 2 for, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Now, that's a cool thing to flip back and forth with Welders, and it's a pretty good draw in those games where you just have 5 mana and nothing to really do with it. That's interesting. Sky Spanner, kind of embarrassing for what you get. Surge Engine, not even close to what we're looking for. What about artifacts that deal damage? Oh, my boy, Bosch Iron Golem, right in. These cards are not exciting. Once again, another like pretty solid Warhammer card. If Chaos Defiler was available on Magic Online, I might even dip into black for that. Like, I think Chaos Defiler is actually what we're looking for here. And I'd figure out how to make the mana base support it. And we could just go like all the way big and play some Worm Coil Engines and just lean into the Reanimator part of the deck a lot harder. But not comboing with Goblin Engineer kind of sucks. Maybe it's just Breya's Apprentice. She bridges the gap extremely well. You don't mind discarding her to reanimate. You don't mind casting her. She's 2 artifact creatures. Great, how about that? No more Memnites and Ornithopters. 3 Breya's Apprentice. 4 Scrapwork Mutt. Some more artifacts in the form of lands that also don't get wastelanded. Okay, I think this is as far as I'm going to take it in this video. This was a lot of fun to brew around. It's a lot of fun to pop off. We also had some extreme misery when we just played against functional legacy decks and we didn't do anything. The full range of emotions in this league. Fear Guard, thank you for the brew challenge. I hope you enjoy this deck. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.